What's up YouTube? I'm Matt Damon. I'm Cold Spaghetti, and today I have another video update for my level 11 Fury Warrior Twink guide for Timewalking. In today's video, we will discuss the new best in slot weapons available from the Timewalking dungeon pool during week 3 of the Turbulent Timeways event, a special mention to a trinket worth farming, as well as some potential new bugs to watch out for in Legion Timewalking. Without further ado, let's get into the video. First things first, as promised, I did some digging through the dungeon loot tables so you guys don't have to once again. This week's winner for the heaviest hitting two-handed weapon in Legion Timewalking is called Hate Sculpted Magma. This is a two-handed axe that drops off the last boss in Neltharion's lair. I particularly like this axe because it has haste and versatility, which we previously discussed to be a pretty solid secondary stat to stack when you are focusing on a more versatility heavy build. And as we know, verse is a severely underrepresented stat in most gear. You need a lot of verse to have a solid impact on your character's power scaling, which makes pieces like this seem like pure gold if that's your end goal. So happy hunting. This next item I'd like to briefly discuss is called the Spiked Counterweight, and it drops off the third boss in Blackrook Hold. This trinket has a chance to deal 535 damage to your target, as well as increase all damage you deal to that target by 15%, up to an additional 348 extra damage. For reference, our Bloodthirst tooltip says that we hit for 385 damage. So the damage proc from this trinket already has great value before you even start considering the increased damage potential for bosses while they're taking an additional 15% damage. Lastly, I'd like to discuss a super annoying bug that is occurring at the time of making this video in Legion Timewalking dungeons, and hopefully some potential workarounds until this gets hotfixed. Put simply, the bug seems to become apparent after killing the first boss in a dungeon. You will know this is happening to you because when you try to loot the boss, your loot will remain on the corpse, and you will also no longer be able to cast abilities, aggro mobs in close proximity, or even log out through standard methods. Your group members will see you permanently kneeling over the boss's body, despite the fact that you appear to be running around on your screen. Any attempts to perform any other character actions, like hearthing, teleporting out of the dungeon, or even logging out, will be met with a condescending chuckle from Blizzard's QA department. The only thing left to do is Alt F4 to force close your game and wait about 10 minutes to bypass the error that reads, "A character with that name already exists in the world." As I mentioned, this error will automatically correct itself after about 10 minutes of being logged out of that character. This bug has happened to me multiple times, and I think I've come up with 2 creative solutions for this bug, and hopefully they can work for you too. The first thing you'll want to do is wait for everyone to zone into the instance at the start of a dungeon before entering combat at all. The reason I believe this works is because it helps ensure that all party members are synced up properly before the game has a chance to trip over its own shoelaces, so to speak. The second tip I recommend is that you do not loot any boss except the last one. This bug seems to trigger only after you loot a boss, so by skipping the loot for now, you skip the bug. Remember, any missed loot will appear in your mailbox when you leave the dungeon anyway. Please make sure whenever you encounter this bug, or any other bugs for that matter, that you take a moment to submit a quick bug report to Blizzard using their in-game bug report feature. This may seem tedious or futile, but submitting bug reports in games that you frequent is a great way to get your voice heard and make sure that these annoyances don't go left unchecked. In this situation, most players will usually just curse Blizzard, restart their game, and move on disgruntled. By submitting this report, it will save you and other players lots of heartache. That's all I have for today's update. If you've made it this far, please consider dropping a like on this video, or even subscribing to the channel if you like my content. As always, please feel free to drop a comment with any feedback or kind words, as this helps the discoverability of my videos a great deal. If you really want to go the extra mile, stop by my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/cold_spaghetti and hang out with us. I'm live every night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I love chatting with my community. Well, I'll see you next time, guys. Cold Spaghetti out.